Every year at exactly 11:59 p.m., we lie to ourselves. Girl, new year, new me. I'm in a new era now in 2026. My mommy, my daddy, my sister, everybody getting cut off. This the year I'm losing 200 pounds. I'm losing 200 pounds. But you only weigh 140. I said I'm losing 200 pounds. I don't know what it is about the new year that makes people feel like their flaws just got deleted overnight. It's like January 1st is some sort of factory reset for them. Meantime, you are literally the same person. So I thought, Happy New Year, by the way. I thought this would be a really fun video to do and just talk about the lies that we tell ourselves on December 31st. And listen, I ain't judging you, because I was in the same boat. On December 31st, I was making these crazy resolutions about how my life was going to change so drastically. I was just gonna grow up. All of these things that I did not accomplish in the 365 days prior, I was trying to push it all in January. And then when it didn't happen, I'd feel like a failure. It's the start of the year. There's a lot of serious things about to happen. Why not have some fun?
Love me or hate me, God knows you made it. When he let his eyes on me.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the This Bahamian Gyal podcast. My name is Rogan. What was I gonna say? Geez, don't tell me in the new year I forgot what I was gonna say. Woo! Must be the red wine. Got me tipsy, blame it on the goose, got you feeling loose. On my platform, I do social commentary and reaction videos. I encourage my audience to have private conversations in public. So since today is New Year's Day, Happy New Year's to everybody, by the way, I thought I would do something a little fun, a little different. Not so dramatic, not so heavy, because, January is heavy on its own, but just something to talk about the crazy ways that we set these incredibly outrageous goals December 31st, thinking that they're going to come through for some reason in January. So I just wanted to talk about the crazy lies that we tell ourselves, and we tell our family members, our friends, we tell each other. So these are going to be like the funny ones, the relatable ones, the ones that we collectively roll our eyes at when our friends and our family say it, So if you ever said, "This is my year," and you had no real plan, no real strategy, no real support system to make it your year, this video is for you. So let's start with the biggest lie of them all. This year will be different. I've said that myself, so I'm not picking on you guys. I don't know if folks think that this year will be different just because they say it. I mean, yes, life and death lie in the power of the tongue, of course. You have to manifest things by saying them, but you also have to follow up with action. I'm very action oriented. So if you just say this year is going to be an incredible year, and you don't explain how it's going to be an incredible year and what you're going to do to make it an incredible year, then it won't be. What is incredible to you? Is it just making it through 2026? Is it buying a house? Is it going back to school? Is it losing weight finally? Is it getting married? What is it? What is incredible to you? But if you don't have a strategy in place for how you're going to accomplish this incredible year, then all you're going to do is watch the calendar just go by. The days, the months go by, and then we're going to be in 2027, and you're going to be saying the same thing. This is going to be my year. This is going to be an incredible year, without really having smart goals. I hate to sound like a broken record, and I hate to sound like everybody else here, but I think social media does play a huge role in that. December is a really tricky month, and I'm not talking about in terms of it being chock full of holidays like Christmas and Hanukkah and Kwanzaa. I'm talking about the fact that a lot of people on social media will wait for December to really give their highlight reels. And so what you're going to see, if you haven't seen them already, is a lot of people getting engaged in December, a lot of people tying the knot in December, and a lot of people announcing that they are pregnant in December, a lot of them showcasing their house in December, a lot of people showing their new cars in December. So it's always like the highlight reel of the year. Like, all year I've been grinding and hustling, and now here it is. All the things that I work for, you're going to see the highlight reel. So that alone has a significant impact on people's self-esteem. They start to feel like they didn't do anything all year. And then they're looking at everybody and saying they got it together. They did everything that they wanted to do in 2025. That might not have been what they had on their list for 2025. It might have just happened. So it does play a significant role in that fresh start illusion, because now we're saying, oh my gosh, they finished so strong in 2025. And now 2026, they're probably going to just achieve all their goals. And then it really starts to seep into your mind. So I think that plays a huge role. Let's go to number 2. It's the second lie that we tell ourselves. I'm cutting everyone off. This is such a toxic mantra for me. If you had somebody in your life who you needed to cut off, it would have been well on its way to being done in 2025, or you would have done it completely in 2025. You don't have to wait for the new year to cut them off. And unfollowing 2 people on social media does not count. I mean, you saying you cutting everyone off. 2 people is not everyone. But I find it quite toxic because, again, if this was somebody who was not good for you in the previous year, you would have been done away with them. I don't know why you feel the need to wait for 2026 to implement this change. But people do that quite often. You'll hear folks saying, if you want to level up, you've got to leave a lot of people behind. You don't have to announce that you're leaving anybody behind. Just leave them behind. The only person who should know is you. I think there's also a big difference, and I think we need to talk about the big difference between cutting someone off and outgrowing them. If you have friends, for example, I'll use this is a good example. If you have friends who just naturally are comfortable in the lives that they have, they might be settled, in their marriage, or they might have kids, or they might have a job that they don't really like, but they go to it every day, and it's just like, yeah, this is where I'm going to be until retirement. And you feel like, ooh, I want so much more for myself. You naturally outgrow those individuals, especially if you're moving towards those goals. There's going to be a natural outgrowing of those individuals. But if you have someone who, like your friends, you share with them your goals. You might say, I want to go back to school, or I want to be a homeowner, or I want to travel, or I want to do all these things. And they constantly sow seeds of negativity in your mind. They're telling you can't do it. Then those are individuals you need to cut off. That's totally different from someone you just kind of outgrow. You could still maintain your friendships with those individuals who you kind of outgrow, but you then fall in line with other people who are probably more on your wavelength, but you don't cut those people off. And I feel like I've seen so many people in the timelines talking about, I'm going to be cutting a lot of people off. Like, why would you need to announce that? If you're going to cut them off, just cut them off. And nobody needs to know but you. They'll know later on, like, hey, this person ain't fooling with me no more. But, just another one of those big lies that we tell, because guess what? And it's a lie, because the folks who say these things in January, if you watch their timelines, and sometimes I do, I'm like, girl, you said this last year. You'll see them kikiing with the people again in March and April. So it's like, did you really cut them off, or you just wanted to vent in January? Nothing changed. So that's a big lie that I always see. The third lie that I see a lot, and it usually happens around the latter part of December, is that I have to have it all figured out by December 31st or it ain't gonna happen. And that's not true. I think hustle culture and capitalism and people online, yet again, get us into this mode of thinking that we're so far behind when we could just be on schedule. We are not necessarily behind, because you're not comparing yourself, or you shouldn't be comparing yourself to somebody else's journey. You don't know what their journey is. If you've seen somebody unveiling their new house and you go, oh my God, I wanted a house for years, and this person, they had their house before me. So what if they have their house before you? You could buy a house at any time. You could buy a house in 2026 or 2027. Listen, there are people who are retired and they might think they can't buy a house, and you just don't know. There might be houses up on the auction block and you have enough money saved up to buy a house. So, yes, as you get older and older, and if you don't have the resources, it might make it a little bit more difficult. But I don't really deal with the word impossible, because I don't think, now when it comes to this, that's impossible, And so I think that hustle culture guilt really just sets in December, where people feel like, I'm just too far behind to catch up at this point. I've seen people come from behind and win big. So you can't think like that. Also, and this one is really real, there are age-based timelines. If you're going to retire and you're not going to have access to money the way you used to during your working years, and you feel like you're behind, it can definitely play with your mind. But like I say, unless I don't really specialize in the impossible mindset. There are some things that are impossible, but not for the majority of things. I think a lot of things are possible. And also, if you're a woman and you want to get married, you can get married at any age. I've read articles of women getting married at 80. And I know that doesn't give a lot of women any solace, because they're like, I don't want to get married when I'm 80. Well, you could get married at 20 and be divorced at 25. You could get married at 30 and be divorced at 32. So, what's better? Just to get married, to be married at a certain timeline? because society says so? Or is it better to be married to somebody who you really love and who is right for you and will be with you until the end? You take that pick. So moving on to lie number 4. This is another lie that I hear quite often. In the new year, I'm going to be more disciplined. I'm going to go to the gym more often. I'm going to save more money. I'm going to travel more. I'm going to work harder, and I'm going to get that promotion. And the thing is, again, there is no magic reset button on the new year. Yes, the new year sets in, but it's not a magic button that's just going to change things. If you weren't disciplined the previous year, can you be disciplined in the new year? Absolutely. You can absolutely be more disciplined in the new year, but you also have to be honest with yourself. If you weren't willing to lift weights in your house, if you bought some weights from Target or Walmart and they've been sitting in your closet collecting dust, you didn't have the discipline enough to lift up the weights or get on your mat in your house. Why do you think paying for a gym membership is going to suddenly make you more disciplined? And sometimes people think, well, if I'm paying for the gym membership, I'm definitely going to go because I don't want to waste my money. Honey, you know how many people out there have like gym memberships for month after month for years, and it's just there. They're paying the membership and they're not going. So if you want to be more disciplined, before you go and run out and get a gym membership, and I know Planet Fitness and the rest of them ain't going to like me for this, but pause. Go and get you some weights. You don't even have to go and spend a bunch of money. You can go to 5 and Below and get you some weights and a mat from 5 and Below. And start at home and see if you are disciplined enough to get up every day and do some crunches and leg weights and lifting weights. And if you can do that for a month or two, religiously get up and do it, then you can graduate to maybe running or walking in your area and seeing if you like that. And then if you feel the need to just go and get a gym membership after that, then go. But the discipline doesn't have to start in the gym. It can start in your living room. Also, as it relates to saving money, if you were balling in December, like a lot of folks, you know, they want to buy gifts for their family members, and I get it. You want to buy gifts for your loved ones. I feel that pressure as well, but I'm always limiting what I'm going to get because I don't want to deal with the bills come January, because now this is when you get the January blues, right? And so if you felt like, well, I'm just going to spend all my money and just get it out of my system, and December 31st, you know, that'll be the last day I'm spending, and then January, I'll be good. Patrice Washington, how many of you guys know her? If you know her, drop her name down below in the comments section. Patrice Washington. I first saw her at a conference, Act Like a Success conference many years ago that Steve Harvey put on in Atlanta. And I remember her of all the speakers, even more so than Steve, to be honest with you. Because I remember her saying something, who you are with $1 is who you'll be with $100, and who you'll be with $1,000. So if you couldn't hold on to $1 or hold on to $100 in 2025, you think you're going to just magically hold on to it in 2026? So it's going to have to be where you start small and be intentional about holding on to your funds, because we don't know what 2026 has in store. Let's move on to lie number 5 that we tell ourselves. And I touched on it earlier. We tell ourselves that everybody and their mama is doing better than us. You'd be surprised. You would be surprised. I used to work in a bank many, many years ago, and I worked as a teller, right? And you would be surprised how many people who were dressed to the nines, hopping out of like really expensive cars, would stand in line. And this is not me just trying to judge them, right? But I just want to prove a point. They would be standing in line to try to get $10 off of their account. $10 because they need gas for their car. Sometimes they'll tell you. Because I know some of you are going to be like, how do you know they need gas for their car? Because sometimes they'll be like, man, I need gas for my car. Sometimes they'll just let you know. And if you're looking at them, you'd be like, wow, you probably would see these individuals online and their great looking car, their sexy car. And you're like, man, I need to level up. I got to get a better car. And they couldn't even withdraw $10 because it would have closed out the account. And sometimes they're like, I need the money, so just close out the account. And then, I don't know how it is in the States, but this was back like home in the Bahamas. But like if you if you take off certain amount of money, like let's just say it's $10 and you take off like, you want to take off the $10, the bank will hold $5 because it's like a closeout fee or something like that. I don't know if they still do that because that was many years ago, but so you can only get $5. That happened to me one time with a client. I was like, well, $5 has to go to the bank, so you'd only be able to get $5. And this person was like, all right, just give me the $5, because he needed gas for the car. And so my point is, before I make the point, then you would have individuals who come in, never failed. You can see like their car pulling up, at least in the bank when I used to work in, it was like a lot of glass. And so you could see when they're pulling up, the car looked like it'd been through the fire, to the limit, to the wall. Shaka Khan special. And then they come in and they're withdrawing thousands of dollars. And you look at their balance and it's like hundreds of thousands of dollars. It happened so many times. If it weren't hundreds of thousands of dollars, sometimes it was millions. Sometimes it was like they had 60K in the bank or something like that. It's like, it's incredible. And they were dressed like in shorts and a little ratty shirt. And I shouldn't say ratty, but like just like a normal little t-shirt, like it's been worn out, for years. And it was such a powerful lesson for me at that time. Like these people, their wealth was so quiet and they didn't care to look the part. They just had the money. And so my point, let me get back to, everybody is doing better than me. Sometimes you think that because you're looking on social media and you're seeing this big house, but you don't know that the house is probably going to be in foreclosure in T-5 seconds because people spending money like crazy on a home they cannot afford, or the car is about to be repossessed, or that the car is on Elizabeth, not even empty, is on Elizabeth. So you might be looking at your car like, oh, I'm driving a Ford Focus. But your Ford Focus on Frankenstein. It's always full. So please, I'm telling you, there are many people who look like they got it. There are many people who look like they're balling and they are not. Okay? Everybody is posting their wins. Everybody is posting their highlight reel. Everybody is posting their new house, their new car, their new whatever, ring. They're not posting their overdraft fees. They're not posting the collection letters. So be mindful. Be mindful, ho. And finally, because I'm only going to make this 6, this is one of the biggest lies that I hear in across social media, which is new year, new me. How many times have you guys heard that? In January, I'm going to be a whole new person. You're going to see I'm going to lose this weight. I'm going to be making more money. I'm going to save more money. I'm going to be traveling finally. I'm going to whatever. Just insert whatever lie you hear. And it's not that they don't mean it. They do mean it. They do want it, but they're just not willing to do what it takes to accomplish that goal. They don't have any SMART goals. They're just pie in the sky. Sometimes I hear people this is always a red flag for me. And I know some of you are going to get offended, but I'm going to say it anyway, because, that's how I roll around here. Every time I hear someone and I say, I'm not big on resolutions, but, I know people are. So I'll be like, oh, so what's your plans for the new year? Like what do you want to accomplish in 2026? And they'll say, I just want to be a better person or a better me than I was in 2025. And I'm like, what does that look like? Just a better me. What does it look like? What does a better me look like? And they can never explain. Just a better me. I just want to be a better person. How? I'm always the how girl. How? What are the SMART goals to be a better person? Does it mean that you're going to tithe more? Does it mean that you're going to donate to charities? Does it mean like you're going to be more helpful at work with your coworkers? Does it mean that if you're living at home with your parents, you're going to be focused on helping them more around the house? You're going to help them with their bills? How are you going to be a better person? Qualify it. And people who can't qualify it, I'm just like, ugh, okay, ain't nothing happening here. If someone says I'm going to save more money in the new year, I go, how? I'm just going to save more money. How? Are you going to cut back on eating out? Are you going to cut back on shopping? Are you going to, what? How? No answer. So that always just is like a major red flag for me. A lot of things are accomplishable. Is that a word? I don't know, Gyal. It's the wine speaking now. We can accomplish a lot of things in 2026, and I sincerely hope that you all who are watching this video do accomplish these things, but you're going to have a serious plan. And I'm not one who advocates for like burning out to accomplish these plans. Sometimes people take on too many things. They want to do 10, 15, 20 things in 365 days. And it's like, why don't you narrow your focus? Why don't you narrow it? Like if getting healthier is a priority for you, then focus on eating better, drinking more water, moving more. It might not necessarily mean a gym membership, but just moving more and using your weights at home and just really watching what you put in your mouth. Why don't you start with that? If saving money is more important to you and you don't make a lot of money, then maybe eating out less is going to be a priority. Maybe shopping is going to be less of a priority. Maybe you're going to go through your inbox, as I've done in years past. And like if I shop somewhere at like some of my favorite stores are like J. Crew and like Ann Taylor Loft and Ann Taylor and all those places, they will send like, notifications to say, hey, we got this in stock and I'm easily tempted by pretty clothes, right? I know myself. So I'm like, oh, maybe I need a new jacket. Maybe I could get these trousers. Maybe. So what do? I'm like, I unsubscribe because I don't want to be tempted. I'm not going to allow myself to be tempted by it. So I just unsubscribe. So maybe that's a step for you too. All your Zara notifications and Mango and all these different places, just unsubscribe from those places. Things are accomplishable. Is that a word? Hold on now. Because, I don't want to be on here saying words when ain't. Let me see here. Yeah, this is the break in between. Because, child. Let me see. Accomplishable? Hold on. Is accomplishable a word? Ah, it is. Okay. Just got to make sure. Because, child, I cannot be up on the internets. Plural, talking about accomplishable, and it's not a word. But many of these things, are accomplishable, but you just have to have those SMART goals as to how you're going to get there. I am not a proponent, advocate, supporter of that crazy mentality, hustle culture. I don't want to burn out. I do not. I'm a hard worker. I know many of you who are watching are hard workers as well. You go hard in the paint, but I don't want to be red-eyed and exhausted just to achieve my goals. I feel like that is just like too extreme, and I can work hard to achieve them and you can work hard to achieve your goals, but you don't have to be like, oh, team no sleep and team grind. And that is not sustainable in the long term. It is not. I'm like the proverbial tortoise in the hare. I will take my time, but guess what? I'm going to get to that finish line without expending too much energy. I'm going to get there steady, surely. So I would definitely say to you all to not necessarily adopt my strategy, but to really think about what works for you. And before I end, I also want to say that I think we need to have a lot of self-compassion, a lot of, be gentle with ourselves. Now, not gentle to the point where you are just being lazy and just like, I'm just being gentle with myself. I'm just giving myself grace. Yes, that's important, but everything must be balanced. You got to work hard and then you give yourself grace. You give yourself grace, you work hard. Don't work so hard and then like you're just punishing yourself, and don't give yourself so much grace that all of your goals and your dreams are just falling by the wayside because you just feel like they're just automatically going to come to pass once a new year kicks in. Also, I think it's important to have that progress without the spectacle. Everything is not for everyone. I keep a lot of things private. I share things related to my channel, because this is what I do. This is what you guys are here for. And so I'll share those wins, not to brag, but to say, hey, you guys are part of my community and we're growing. Our community is growing. We're getting bigger. We're getting stronger. But aside from that, I don't really like to post too much, about my personal life, my family life, my financial life, any of that sort of stuff, because I like to win privately, and glow up privately. You might say, oh, you got a little glow there. Thank you. It's the moisturizer, you know? Get into the habit of building the foundations in private and doing all the great work in private. And then just let people find out on their own. Like, girl, you cleared 700K? You cleared 500K? You know, you build a house? You just do it. No need for an announcement. And please, for my sake, I don't want to hear no more. This me saying this, my personal petition to you. I don't want to hear no more. I'm just moving in silence in 2026. Can you move in silence in silence? What Lil Wayne say? Real G's move in silence like lasagna? Just be quiet. You don't have to tell me you're moving in silence. Because now what you've done is you pointed a big old arrow on yourself and say, I'm moving in silence. So people can be like, what you got going on over there? Let me check. You just don't say anything. Don't say anything. Anyway, drop your comments down below. There are several things I want from you. First of all, I want you all to tell me what's the biggest lie that you've told yourself, or the biggest lie that you've heard from people online or from family members and friends at the turn of the new year. If you want to just make it personal to yourself, like what's the biggest lie that you've told yourself? As a matter of fact, you can share what did you tell yourself in 2024 leading into 2025. Did you accomplish it or did you not? And why not? That's the first thing. So you can choose how you want to respond to that. And the second thing is I'm always looking at my analytics in the back end of YouTube Studio, and I'm seeing people from different areas, different continents. And so I'm curious to know where you all are from. If you're from the DMV where I live, this is home now, then let me know. Like, let me know what county you in. If you're in Maryland or Virginia, let me know. Let me know if you're from DC. If you are from, I've seen some, Asia keeps coming up. So where you watching from in Asia and South America? Because what y'all, like, how y'all finding me? So let me know where you're from, what country or what city you're from, or both. I really want to know. But drop your comments down below. And before I go, I want to say thank you so much to all of the viewers, all of my subscribers, all of my channel members. I said in a newsletter just yesterday that I don't take your presence here on my channel for granted. I really don't. I really appreciate you being here because there are millions of other channels you could be watching and you're choosing to watch mine. So that means a lot to me, more than you will ever imagine. So I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful to every one of you who engage with me in the comments section. So thank you so much for that. And I have some amazing plans for this year. And I can share this with you because this is related to the channel. And it'll be revealed in the weeks to come. The things that I'm going to be doing. You're going to be seeing some interviews as well. I've had a number of people reach out wanting to come on the platform. And November, December is a huge month for me. It's a very busy time. And so trying to balance my personal responsibilities with this channel was a bit challenging. And so, all those folks who had reached out for interviews, you're going to see some wonderful new faces in the coming weeks and months. And so I'm excited about that. And I'm also starting a new YouTube channel. I had talked about previously wanting to do a true crime channel, and I really sat on it. And I was just like, with my time constraints, I don't think that I could do it justice. I love true crime like it's nobody's business, but that requires a lot of research, a lot of time, because these aren't like fake stories we're dealing with. These are real people's lives, and I don't want to commit to something if I cannot really research in depth all angles of a story, because again, they're surviving family members. They deserve, to not have their stories told inaccurately. And so it's not going to be that. I will let you know in a upcoming video what the new channel is going to be about. And I'm super excited about that. And I just hope that you all will ride with me. Those of you who have an interest in this topic will ride with me on that channel as well. But I just want to thank you so much and say Happy New Year. I love you guys so much. Don't forget to drop your comments down below. let me know again, and I'm going to repeat my question of the day. Like, what are some of the lies that you told yourself, or what are some of the lies that you've heard other people say at the turn of the new year? And I will see you in the next episode. Thank you so much. I love you. Toodles.